take it. We were told 200 people. That looks like a lot more than 200 people. So for anybody who thought people were going to run from his side, I'm not sure what his opponents are going to do, most of which have been supportive up until the last 24 hours. But I know this, his supporters are still standing there. 80% of Republicans say this will not affect how they vote. We'll see what that means for the overall primary season. So he's taken in this song. Perhaps he'll go
as I promised,
the entire way. He'll play
this
it all
speech
out,
from Jersey.
and then he'll speak up.
Please subscribe.
In Miami, it was about 90 degrees.
I'll bring you more.
Now it's about 68 degrees. No top coat, red tie. Same thing he was arraigned in today. Let's take in the last moments. This is the President of the United States about to address a crowd of reporters, and also the first time after being indicted on federal charges. First time in history.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. It's a great honor to have you here. And today we witness the most evil and heinous abuse of power in the history of our country. Very sad thing to watch. A corrupt sitting president had his top political opponent arrested on fake and fabricated charges of which he and numerous other presidents would be guilty, right in the middle of a presidential election in which he is losing very badly. This is called election interference, and yet another attempt to rig and steal a presidential election. More importantly,
Please subscribe.
it's a political persecution like something straight out of a fascist or communist nation. This day will go down in infamy, and Joe Biden will forever be remembered as not only the most corrupt president in the history of our country, but perhaps even more importantly, the president who, together with a band of his closest thugs, misfits, and Marxists, tried to destroy American democracy. But they will fail, and we will win bigger and better than ever before. Charging a former president of the United States under the Espionage Act of 1917 wasn't meant for this. An act for a crime so heinous that only the death penalty would do, and threatening me with 400 years in prison for possessing my own presidential papers, which just about every other president has done, is one of the most outrageous and vicious legal theories ever put forward in an American court of law. The Espionage Act has been used to go after traitors and spies. It has nothing to do with a former president legally keeping his own documents. As president, the law that applies to this case is not the Espionage Act, but very simply the Presidential Records Act, which is not even mentioned in this ridiculous 44-page indictment. Under the Presidential Records Act, which is
Thank you
civil,
for watching.
not
Please
criminal,
subscribe so I can bring you
I had
more.
every right to have these documents. The crucial legal
Yes, you
precedent
did.
is laid out in the most important case ever of this
Well,
subject,
now he set the
known as
precedent.
Clinton
Let's go get
Sons
Biden's
case.
and Hillary's and Obama's.
You know what that means? After leaving the White House, Bill Clinton kept 79 audio tapes in his sock drawer. They included discussions of U.S. military involvement in Haiti, discussions of U.S. foreign policy, both defense and offense, against Cuba, recordings of President Clinton's conversations with all of the many foreign leaders at the time. Think of that. Sensitive facts about trade negotiations taken from presidential briefings, discussions with the Secretary of State about conflict in Bosnia, and much, much more. Very big stuff. Not only was Bill Clinton never even considered for criminal prosecution based on the tapes he took, but when he was sued for them, he won the case. Judge Amy Berman Jackson's decision states, under the statutory scheme established by the Presidential Records Act, the decision to segregate personal materials from presidential records is made by the president during the president's term and in the president's sole discretion.
Please
Surprised to
subscribe.
hear that,
Thanks
aren't
for
you?
watching.
Any normal administration, even an opposing one, would consider that to be the end, but not the corrupt Biden administration. The SOX decision, as it's known, also states, quote, the National Archives and Records Administration, or NARA, does not have the authority to designate material as presidential records. I don't have the authority. NARA does not have the tapes in question, and NARA lacks any right, duty, or means to seize control of them. This is law. The president enjoys unconstrained authority to make decisions regarding the disposal of documents. That's unconstrained to make that decision. Neither the archivist nor Congress has
subscribe.
the authority to veto the
See you tomorrow.
president's decision. The Presidential Records Act does not confer any mandatory or even discretionary authority on the archivist to classify records. Under the statute, this